Okay, we're going to get started. We have an absolute wonderful crowd tonight. I figured everybody would be watching the World Series, but I know that you want your own World Series ring out selling apps. So I want to thank you for coming in. It is just another blessed week to be able to come and share the training with each and every one of you. We have a host of new people in here tonight, and I want to welcome each and every one of you to Wednesday night training. We have a really, really good time. The first thing I want to get to before we get started, though, is if you could leave the questions here. And Ken, this was going to be said before your email, and I'm glad you sent that email because I was going to address that tonight, and we got that out of the way. But if you could leave your questions to the specific training. We get off into a lot of technical issues, and if you would use the system for that, the support and help system for that, it'll make training go a whole lot quicker, and that way they can answer your questions. A lot of the stuff you ask, I have to go to the technicians or the developers and get the answers, and I don't have them right on the spot. If we could keep it to training, and what we may start doing is maybe once a month or once every few weeks, we will have a technical training where we have all the guys on board. Sometimes they come on, sometimes they don't. I prefer them working and doing what they do best, and that's keeping the system upgraded, updated, and all the new things that are coming. So if you could this evening, keep the questions, the answers specific to the training, and we will roll right along and get this thing done. Okay, so we're going to get started here. For all of you that are new, my name is Kerry Miller, and I'm coming to you live from the IEW studios right here in Northeast Texas. I'm in Northeast Texas. We have some of our developers down in Florida, Alabama, and Arkansas. And we all work great together, and it's great to be a part of this wonderful team. I bring the trainings for all of you that are new on board. I bring all the trainings each and every week. I do the trainings on the side. I do the webinars, and pretty much anything that does with video or speaking on the go-to system, I do that. I do have the recording going, and I sure do hope that it renders. We have had a couple of issues with that in the past, but it's usually not twice in a row. So we'll be getting everything rolling, and you'll have your recording this week. A couple of things that I want to start off with, and this has been the biggest question I've had week after week on private phone calls. And I love talking to you guys one-on-one. I thought, well, let's bring this out and talk about it. How to price your apps. What is an app worth? What should you be charging for your app? And how do you figure that out? So we're going to talk about those things this evening. And to give you an idea, we have resellers selling apps anywhere from $49.99 to $499.99. I mean, it's really all over the place. But it's whatever your market will bear, and really it depends on how you want to sell it. And we're going to talk about that also. So we're going to get into pricing your apps. The first thing you need to understand is what is your cost, what is your overhead, and what is your time worth. When you get all that information together, then you can figure out what you want to charge for your app. What's a fair price? How much money do you want to make? Do you want to make it quickly? Do you want to build your business over time? Do you want your business to build itself with referrals and those kind of things? Some people may only want to make an extra $2,000 or $3,000 a month. They can go out and sell their apps for $200. They go out and sell 10 apps, and they've got their $2,000 a month residual set up, and if somebody falls off, then they only have to go replace that person. If they want to make $20,000 a month, then it's a totally different story. If they want to build large volumes at lower cost, it takes a lot more work, but what happens in the end, the referrals get larger, your company gets bigger. There's just a whole lot of things that go into pricing your app, running your business, and making money in this industry. You can go online today and you can see prices for mobile apps anywhere from free with Andromo up to $1,500, $2,000, $2,500, $3,500. So to figure out where you want to be, you have to think of no one else but you. Don't worry about others. Don't worry about what everybody else is making. Don't worry about what everybody else is selling it for. Don't worry about how they're doing their business. What you need to be worried about is, what does me need to do? How do I want to run my business? How much money do I want to make? I'll give you a prime example. There's 2 different restaurants in this town I can go get a hamburger. One of the places that I go get a hamburger, the hamburger is $7.95. That includes the French fries. It's a good hamburger. But I can go get a great hamburger for $4.75, and that includes French fries. Or I can go to McDonald's and get a 99-cent Big Mac, an order of fries for 99 cents, and a glass of sweet tea for 99 cents, and spend a total of about $3. Why is that? What's the difference? Well, the difference is cost, overhead, and time. McDonald's is huge. They're a major franchise. They can sell a lot of things cheap. Why? Because they sell massive volumes of hamburgers. Okay, the other 2 places are mom and pop places. Every one of those restaurants do exceptional business in this town. None of them have closed the doors. They've been in business for a very long time, and it just depends on what you're willing to pay. And it's almost the same way in the app industry. What does the market bear? Let's talk about volume pricing for a moment. And I'm on volume pricing because I was talking to one of our resellers last week, and he's been doing extremely well. And he started thinking about volume pricing. The first thing you need to figure out, okay, and I'm going to try to do this here. I've never done it, but I'm going to try to do it right now. I want you to think about this for a moment. How much is an app? If you have 100 apps and you're paying $100 a month for it, that app is $1. And I know this is writing terrible, but I hope you can see that, okay? $1. Now, if you went in and you said, okay, that app's $1 times 1,000%. Wow, I could sell that app for $10 and make 1,000% on my money. Now, before I go any further, I'm just going to ask this question real quick. Does everyone follow me where I'm at right now? It's extremely important that you understand this. If you would just say yes or no, I just want to make sure. Okay, we're getting the yeses. We're getting the yeses. Okay. I don't know of any place else you could make 1,000%. Stephen, you crack me up, buddy. It's good to see you. I don't know anywhere else you can make 1,000% on your money. Now think about this for a moment. What if you made 10,000% on your money? You would sell that for $100. I don't know about you, but if I'm selling something and making 10,000%, I don't have to sell a lot of them to become a millionaire. At 10,000%. Same thing. Let's look at texting for a moment. $15. Okay. $15, and let's say 500%. That's 75 bucks. Let's just say 100%. That's 30 bucks. Okay? Do you see where I'm going? Sit down and figure out what you want to make. What you're going to sell, how you're going to sell it, and how you're going to make it move. In some areas, you may be able to go out and sell 100 apps for $49.95 and texting for $25 and reputation management for $75. And in other places, you may be able to go out and sell that same package for $595. What the reseller has found that I was talking about is he can go out all day long and sell the apps for $49.95. He's going out selling a QR code for, I think it was 39 bucks. Just a QR code. And then building the app around it. He's got it broken down in many different ways, but you need to figure out what it's costing you. Okay, so we know the app at 100 apps, and this is just a round number so that we can all understand, is $1. Okay? Overhead. My office is in my home. I've got an office uptown. But I split my overhead in many different ways. But let's just say that I work out of my office in my home. It's one room. I can break that down, and this one room costs me about $200 a month. Okay? $200 a month. Now let's take $200 a month divided by 100 apps. That app cost me $2. Okay, I'm going to ask this again. I just want to make sure, okay? I don't want to lose anybody on this because this is probably one of the most important trainings we're going to do with helping you guys. Yes, everybody's getting it. Okay, great, great, great. This is the biggie right here. Time. What is your time worth? I can tell you now that it's going to be very, very hard to put a price on your time and go out and make it back on your first 100 apps. When I do something, I charge $250 an hour for consultation. 250 bucks an hour. So I take that 250 bucks an hour divided by 100 apps, divided by one app, well, two apps, because I can do one app in 30 minutes. So that time is worth 150 bucks. Now you see what that's just done to my pricing? It's really blown it up. So what you need to stop doing is looking at this right here for right now. Your time will be paid in your residual income over the long haul. Okay? That's where your time is paid. Don't look at it on the very first app, building the app. Look at it over the long haul. If you take this one app that costs you $3, okay, $3, I need to buy me one of those little pins. You know what I'm talking about? One of those little pins that you can play like a mouse. Okay, we're talking $3. Okay? Let's say we sell that for 10,000%. And this is just the app, okay? This doesn't add on the other things. You need to do everything else the same way. $3 times, what did I say, 10,000? I meant 1,000%. At 1,000% is $30. Now this is where your time comes in, okay? You go out and you sell that app. Just the app, okay, with the marketing platform, no add-ons, nothing else. You sold that for $30. But this is what happens. That one app turns you $360 a year. Now, there's going to be a little bit of maintenance. You're going to have to stop in and say hi, eat your hot dog, or get your car washed, or have your hair done, or whatever you're going to do. You're going to do those things anyway. Okay? You're going to do those things anyway. Just make sure you do it with your customers. Okay? This is where your time comes in your residual. You can work this one of two ways. You can work it with volume pricing, or you can go out and say, well, I want to make more money than that. Then sell them at $100 to $125 for your apps. Just your apps. Then go in and do the add-ons, your texting. You could even add on the marketing platform as an add-on. Your reputation defender. Your Foursquare. Now you start adding all those things on at $25 and $35. Now you've got your pricing up there where it's what? Because why? It's all one platform. Remember, it's all one platform. Now you've got your price of your app up to about 10 to 15,000. Understand that word. %. Nobody makes that kind of money. People today, a good investment, and I mean a good investment, is paying 8 to 10%. 8 to 10%. Real estate, if you can find an area, if you can flip a house or something, you may make 20 to 25% if you can get rid of the property. Okay? Thanks, Steve. If you can get rid of the property. So what you need to decide tonight, number one, is I've got to quit worrying about what everybody else is charging. What you need to decide tonight is what you want to charge. You need to sit down and do exactly what I did. What's my cost? Okay? What's my overhead? And let's kind of not worry about this right now because this is going to come in on your residual. Okay? And figure out what kind of money you want to make. In order to know what kind of money you want to make, you need to know how many apps you're going to sell. I'm going to sell 3 apps a week. Okay, that's 12 apps a month. Okay, that's roughly, if you take a couple of months off for the holidays, November and December, like most people do when they're in business for themselves, they kind of really slow down and they hang out with the family, go fishing or whatever they do. So figure 10 months, that's 120 apps a year. 3 apps a month. Okay? And I'm fixing to show you how to get, 3 apps a week. I'm fixing to show you how to get 3 apps a week. Maybe you want to sell 6. Okay? This is a true statement. And some of you may say, well, Kerry, you're crazy. I guarantee you this is an absolute true statement. If you want to double your income, double your efforts. If you want to triple your income, triple your efforts. If it gets to the point where you cannot increase your income by yourself, double yourself. So if you've got to a point where you've tripled your income by yourself and you want to do it 6 times, find someone else that's like-minded, that has the work ethic that you do, and bring them on board for a percentage and get out there. Hey, man, how did you make that happen? Oh, he's just talking to me. I thought I've been trying to bring you in, Woodrow, and I cannot get this thing to connect for some reason. But what you need to do is you need to figure out what you want to do. What Woodrow was saying there, if you want to make a deal with a large volume store, okay, no problem. I see it now. If you want to make a deal with a large volume store, go in and give them a nice volume discount, and I'm going to tell you, it will change your business. It will absolutely change your business, okay? But that is how, let me get off of this pencil here. That is how you do your pricing. I like volume pricing. I took $1,000 2 years ago, and in 2 years ago on volume pricing, and I call it the Walmart effect, okay? The Walmart effect is they bring in large volumes of product, spread them out amongst thousands and thousands of stores, and sell them at a very low cost and make a fortune. I did the same thing with my company. I took $1,000 and turned it into $1.3 million in 2 years based on volume, doing the exact same thing. When everybody else was doing 1 or 2 roofs a week, I was doing 10 to 15, okay, and tripling my profits because I was doing it in large volumes. Next thing I want to talk about, does everybody get me on my pricing? Does everybody I've tried to keep it I could go in serious depth on pricing models and all that, but if you keep pricing simple, you'll be a lot better off because pricing will keep you up at times. Okay, great. Peter says that was very clear. Now I want to talk to you about cold calling. And once again, you heard me talking to Bob Delancey earlier with I think it's Aptitude. Aptitude is his company, Aptitude LLC. Bob shared with us this evening a program, a cold calling script that we're going to be posting. Bob's using this script and he's knocking it out of the park with the script. Let me talk to you just about cold calling for a moment. I was a Navy recruiter for 10 years. I ran the #1 recruiting district in the United States, okay? In recruiting, I don't know if you know this or not, if you've got children that are of recruitable age, juniors to seniors, you'll know what I'm talking about. Recruiters get a hold of recruits by the phone. Everything they do is strictly cold calling. We have a very large Rolodex of phone numbers, and we called every single night from 100 to 200 phone numbers. And that's how, whether you believe what the media says or not, there is a quota in the military. Trust me. I had a quota every month, and if I didn't make it, I was taken to the big house. But recruiters used cold calling. It was the #1 way for them to bring recruits into the military. Now, the great thing about cold calling is you can reach a whole lot more people very inexpensively in a rapid amount of time. So we're going to talk about cold calling. Bob, I want to thank you once again. You just don't know how much I appreciated that script coming across, and we're going to talk about that script here in a moment. So if you guys, once we have our extremely large conference that we're putting together, when you see Bob, thank Bob. And if any of you have anything to share like this that we can train on, please feel free to email it to me. I know some of you have been doing stuff like this for a long time, and if we can use it, it works great. And but I just want to thank him once again for doing that. No, Tom, you're not dreaming. Not at all, buddy. Tom says this: I want my salespeople to sell a minimum of 5 apps per week. Am I dreaming? The number of apps you sell is directly proportional to the amount of time and effort you put in going out and talking to people. Period. Nothing else changes that. Nothing. And based on this cold calling script, Tom, I would have these guys cold calling X amount of time a day. I would have them out knocking doors with one of the programs I'm going to show you next. And the more people, and it's just strictly numbers, the more people that see your product and understand your product, the more customers you're going to have. If you only talk to one person a day and you need to speak to 15 people a day to have 2 sales, it's going to take you 15 days to have 2 sales. Or you can go out and talk to 15 people today and have 2 sales a day, 10 sales a week. So let's go into cold calling. When the person to whom you are speaking, when you pick up that phone and you call them, and you're fixing to start talking to them about your product, and they say hello, what do? Hang up the phone. Somebody answered the phone. I don't want to talk to them. Let me hang up the phone. And you say, well, Carrie, why would I do that? I'm telling you, I watched recruiter after recruiter after recruiter. They have the fear of the phone, and they have the fear of somebody saying, hello, and they hang it up. What'd you hang it up for? Oh, I think I got the wrong number. What are you going to say next? Don't simply just go into the verbiage of the speech, okay? Because if you do, you're going to turn them off. Carry on a little bit of conversation. Build a little bit of rapport. I used to love talking to moms. Moms were the best because they always said no. What's the first thing a mom would tell me about recruiting? My son, my daughter is going to college. Man, when they said that, I knew without a shadow of a doubt I was fixing to get in the door. And that would open up the conversation. So I was able to open up the conversation. Now we were able to talk. We were able to build some rapport. When she answered the phone, she hated me. When she got off the phone, it was a little bit warmer. And the next time I called, I was being invited to dinner to sit down with mom and dad and son or daughter. So it does work. Building rapport is extremely important, whether you're in front of the person or on the phone. Always smile when you pick up the phone and call. Always smile when you pick up the phone and call. They can feel that. They can feel your enthusiasm. If you pick up the phone and you call Dave's Barbershop, and Dave answers the phone, and Dave says, Dave's Barbershop? Yeah, Dave, what's up, man? Pardon? Yeah, I was just wanting to talk to you about some mobile apps, and you're probably not interested, so I apologize for taking up your time. Do you think Dave would ever buy anything from you? Absolutely not. But what if this happened? Dave's Barbershop. Hey, Dave, this is Carrie Miller. How are you doing today? I'm doing great, Carrie. I tell you what, Dave, I've been needing a haircut, and I've heard a lot of great things about your barbershop. When's your next open time? Well, Carrie, why don't you come in tomorrow at noon? That's great, Dave. And then what am I going to do? Number one, I've got to go get my haircut. Okay? Maybe I need to get my haircut 5 times a week. So you can do that, Greg. Greg says, what about sending out flyers or postcards? That's a great thing to do. Now it becomes a what? A warm call. And we'll talk about warm calls here in just a minute, but that's a very good idea. Plan your call before you make your call. I'm going to tell you now, if you sit down and you just say, okay, gosh, man, it's 1 o'clock, and I know they're all sitting in their offices because the rush is over, I'll make my calls. And you don't have a plan, you don't have a care in the world, you don't really want to do it. If that's the case, then don't do it, because you're going to project that over the telephone, and you're going to lose those customers every time. But if you have a plan, and you say, all right, man, it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm going to make my 10 phone calls, and I'm going to set 3 appointments. Now you've got a goal. You've got a plan. You know where you're going. You know what's fixing to take place. And now you have excitement, because why? You know if you set 3 appointments, you're going to make 1 sale. It's going to happen, because that's what your percentages are. Okay? Now I want you to think about this just one moment. Let's say, I'm going to go back to my pen here. Bam. Let's say that you make 10 calls a day, 5 days a week. Now, just 10 calls. And guys, I'm telling you, you can make 10 calls in 15 minutes. Literally, 10 calls in 15 minutes. Because about 7 out of 10 are going to be busy and tell you to call back or don't ever call again. 3 of those, okay, are going to talk to you. So 10 times 5 is 50 calls. And if you get 3 out of the 10, so now you've talked to 15 people. And let's say that you call 15, you get 15 people and you close, well, let's just say you close 10% of them. That's 1.5 sales a week, or 6 sales a month. And I'm telling you, those numbers are probably a little bit low. If you close 10% of everybody you talk to, you will be a superstar salesman. A superstar. You will be making more money in 6 months than you've ever made in your life. Why do I know that? Because I know what my salesman did. I had one salesman who started off, he couldn't sell a dog a bone that was starving to death. Literally couldn't sell him one. He started working on his cold calling techniques. We started tracking his numbers. We started setting him up to be successful. We started getting him up in the mornings early and hitting the ground running hard. And next thing you know, this guy's closing 15 to 18%. This guy was a stud. Because most of my guys were selling anywhere from 7 to 10%. So you can see that we were very excited about that. I always pay my, Tom asked, how do you compensate your salespeople? I've always, and I will always pay my salespeople commission. If a salesman will tell you that he will not work for commission, then he's not a salesman. Okay? He's not a salesman. He's a worker. He's an employee. You don't need employees. You need salespeople who understand the more they go out. You know, 25, 30, 50%. I'd give them 50. I tell you what, Tom, if I had some salesmen, I would split the setup fee with them. And no, don't pay any of their expenses. I'd split the setup fee with them, and I'd give them 30% of the residual. Make them rich. Give them all the setup fee and 15% of the residual. Make it fair for them. But you must have a plan in mind for every single call. You cannot pay expenses for a 1099 sales rep. Okay, they become an employee and you get some serious IRS trouble over that. Before you call the prospect, take a minute and plan the call. You need to understand who you're calling. Go on Yelp, go on Google, look at their websites, understand who they are. When you've picked up their business card and you're planning for the week, any advertisements that they do, look through the newspapers, see if they advertise in the local newspapers, see what kind of money they're spending on the internet. Understand your customer. Decide what you're going to say before you call. And I'm talking the opening line. Make sure you understand what you're going to do. And write out your plan. Know exactly how you're going to do it. Number one, from all the information you've heard or read about the company's product or service, list one fact and benefit that would apply to that particular company. If you're talking to a hair salon, and you know for a fact from talking to others, and every time you drive by there on Tuesday, there is nobody in the chairs, okay? You need to figure out a benefit that would apply to that particular company. A great benefit would be what? We can take this product, we can take this mobile app, and we can drive business into your establishment on Tuesdays. What a great benefit. Okay? A fact, Miss Smith, I've noticed on Tuesdays that your business is slow. I've noticed on Tuesdays that your chairs are empty. What I would like to do is show you how to fill up those seats on Tuesday and increase your revenue. Okay? You've mentioned a fact, and she already knows that. Okay? You've mentioned a benefit of your product, how to take care of the problem. Know what you want to accomplish before you make the call. This is extremely important. Is this a call where you just want to introduce your company? Or is this a call where you want to set up an appointment? Is this a call where you're going to close the deal? Is this a call where you're just going to make a call? Okay? You have to know what you want to accomplish before you make the call. If you don't know what direction to take the sale, you're going to lose it every single time. First, do you want to gain more information? Hey, Carrie, this is Tom. I was calling today just to see if you had a mobile app. No? Okay. Or do this. Trust me, I get these calls all the time, and I know where they're going with them. Hey, Carrie, this is Tom with Mobile apps? I was calling today. We're doing a survey in the area. How many of you have done surveys till you're blue in the face? You're not doing a survey. You're sitting there helping someone fill out their sales sheet on you. Calling to set an appointment. As you go through your script, are you trying to set that appointment? What's the best time to call? Carrie, what's the best time to call on you? Would 9 o'clock in the morning be better, or 2 in the afternoon? Always use an alternative close. That's where you give them a choice. Okay? They sit there and think about a moment. They're busy at 9. No, well, 9's not good, but I tell you what, 10:30 every morning I sit down for a cup of coffee. Great. You gave them an alternative. They know that you're flexible with your time, and they're going to come back and tell you when it's good. Okay? Or you're just going to give them some information. Okay? Are you going to try to buy into that business? Are you going to try to get in there and make that sell? Are you ready to throw the knockout punch? I don't recommend really doing that on a cold call, but some do. Role play. Okay? You need to find somebody, your wife. One of my salesmen, I had his wife call me one night. I'll never forget this. And this guy was extremely good. He sold 7 to 8 roofs a week. Okay, he was just, his technique was phenomenal because he knew exactly where he was going. He would role play with himself in the mirror. Every night before he went to bed, we had our scripts written out and exactly what to say, and we had sales training just like we're having online here. And he would role play with himself in the mirror. And she called me, she said, Carrie, she said, I think he's lost his mind. She said, every night he stands in front of the mirror and he's talking to himself. She said, is that something you've taught him, or is he just losing it? And we talked a little bit, and that's something I teach people is role play with yourself in the mirror, and that's what he was doing. Sit down with your wife. The kids are okay, but the kids are going to listen to you about twice, and they're going to blow you off, and they're going to go do whatever they do. Okay? Your wife will probably listen to you 4 or 5 times, and then she's going to blow you off, or your husband is going to blow you off. So, but find somebody that you can role play with. You need to prepare for profit. Okay, and I'm going to talk a minute about the process of preparing for profit with every single call. First off, know who you're calling. If you don't know who you're calling, you need to stop right then. Okay? Are you calling the owner of the business? Have you found out that they've got a tech person that you need to sit down and talk to? Maybe you need to speak to an assistant manager before you speak to the manager. Okay? You kind of find those things out as you're out in the field and you're talking to people, and trust me, I've had this happen. You knock on a door and you see immediately that the wife is in control. So it does you absolutely no good to sit there and talk to the husband, because he's going to do whatever she says 99% of the time. Okay? That's what I do. That's why I've been married for 32 years. Let her say yes. Okay? It's the same thing in a business. There's always someone who is the power person. All right? That's who you need to go to. The manager, the owner may not even make the decisions. Or the assistant manager that you've wasted all your time with doesn't have authority to say yes. So know who you're calling. Know why you're calling them. Remember what we just talked about. Are you calling to set an appointment? Are you calling to make a sale? Are you calling just to give information? Know what you're going to say. Know how much time you will invest in this call. If I can give you any advice tonight that you take, understand this. A no is never a no. Now, I don't know if that makes sense to you or not. A no is never a no. But when they tell you no, understand this, that they're probably busy. They probably don't have time right now. Okay? But a no is never a no. A no means that they need more information. When you're on the phone, they need more information, but they just don't have time to do it right now. So this is what you always want to do. Carrie, is there a better time to call where you're not so busy? Now, you've just acknowledged something with him, okay? You've acknowledged that he's a busy man, and he appreciates that because he sees that you see that. Don't sit there and try to jam something down his throat because you're going to get hung up on. And you're never going to get through again because they don't like you at all. Okay? They may need your product. They may have wanted your product that day, but they don't like you anymore. So you're not going to get in the door. So when you're talking to that person, feel their attitude. Okay? Or as my man Bob, their aptitude. Okay? Feel that through the phone. I know you've all talked to people on the phone where you could tell immediately what kind of mood they're in. Okay? So that will tell you how much time to invest in the call. Know and control the environment. All right? Always remember this. These last 2 points. Know when to talk and know how to listen. I've been told this my whole life. My whole life. I think since I was born. God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth. Okay? If you ask someone something, give them time to reply. Don't start talking over them. Give them time to reply. Know when to talk and know when to listen. And remember this, the last person who speaks in a sale loses. What I mean by that is give them the last word and you will close the deal. Let them take the last word when you ask for the close. Jim, would you like to get signed up this afternoon, or is tomorrow at 12 better for you? Don't say another word. You've given them an alternative close, and they're going to have to give you an answer. Okay? And remember, if they say, well, I'm not really interested, that's not a no. He's asking for more information, or she's asking for more information. There are 2 steps to build a phone call that the pros will envy. Now, I'm going to tell you now, the script that we received, okay, is phenomenal. And I'm going to pull it up real quick, and I'm going to post this on the forum. And I may have to go in and just copy and paste it, but we're going to post it on the forum. And I want to go through this cold call script with you. Okay? I've got it pulled up here. I hope everybody can see it fine. If I need to blow it up, that's not going to work. We'll leave it right there. Okay? When you use a cold call script, when you use a script, you want to use it almost verbatim. My philosophy in life has always been, if it's not broke, don't try to fix it. We already know from Bob that this script is working, and it's working extremely well. Now, you may find in your area that you need to tweak it a little bit one way or the other, but don't go in and say, oh, I don't like the way that says that. When I went to recruiting school, our recruiting school is written by the very famous Zig Ziglar. And he's the one that the program we use to learn how to recruit, okay, individuals. Now, if you want to find a tough sell someone a military life. That's a very tough sell. But don't vary, because what we found is when people varied from the scripts are there for one reason, because they work. Okay? So in this instance, hi, this is Carrie from Moby Ad Group, and where we make mobile apps smart. I was calling to find out if you have a mobile web app for your company that I could use on my smartphone. Response. Have you thought about getting a mobile web app for your business that would allow you to engage your customers in a whole new way at the same generating more sales volume? I'm going to tell you something, guys. Where's my I like this little thing right here. You see that right there? That is called a hook in the sales industry. You just ask them if they want to create or generate more sales volume. What are they going to say? Well, absolutely not, man. I want my business to shut down. I don't want another sale. I don't want to have anything to do with my business anymore. I'm tired of it. I hate it. I don't want to make any money. I want to go be poor, and I want them to repossess my car. You get what I'm saying? You just ask them a very specific question. That's why I'm saying it's very important that you follow the scripts. What percentage of customers would you guess have cell phones? What are you doing now? You're engaging him with who? His customers. You're taking him to a new place, okay? You're taking him out of your arena, putting him in his business, asking him about his customers. Now you're talking about something he likes to talk about. Oops, I got to go change this thing again, okay? And now you give a little bit of information here. It's hard to believe that it's close to 90% and growing. By having a mobile web app, you have the opportunity to engage your customers by giving them the ability to easily access your products and service on their mobile devices. In addition, with our text marketing platform. Now what are you doing? You're starting to build him up right on the phone, okay? Sharing with him your product. And this is my favorite part of this whole deal, right here, okay? Right here you can see it talks about promotions and everything, but right here, and I'm going to tell you why this is my favorite deal. We've had a reseller that has found in his studies and found in his sales that every single person he talks to knows about QR codes. I mean, his studies even astounded me. And I'm a QR code fanatic. So he's found out that everybody understands QR codes, and so you're fixing to ask this person, are you familiar with QR codes? Okay? Most everybody is today. They don't understand them, okay? But they know all the big businesses are using them. Every magazine they open, they see them. Every advertisement they look at, they see them. When they go watch the races on Sunday, they see them. When you watch the football games, they're starting to put them up on the screen. You watch the news today, and you can go over and you can scan it to get the story that they're talking about right on your smartphone. Everybody is starting to understand QR codes. And you talk about the QR codes, okay? And here we go right here. If you get this question, oops, I'm sorry. If you get this question, how much does it cost? You've got them sold right over the phone, okay? Right over the phone. Would you like me to have our team start on a mock-up today and have it ready for you in the morning? You've got them closed. All right? Use these scripts. They're extremely important. Learn alternative methods of talking to the customers. You can go online and you can Google alternative closes, okay? And there'll be 5 million of them, okay? Google Zig, and you'll find 5 billion of them, okay? Use the scripts. Use what we give you. Use what is working for others. And what you will find is your business will start to grow. You need to reach out to people. You need to be prepared for cold calling. You need to be prepared for talking to people. You need to be prepared to set appointments. You need to be prepared for that. So get someone to practice with. Call somebody and say, hey man, do you mind if I call you and go through a script with you? Do you mind if I work on this script with you for just a couple of calls? And then get their feedback. Okay? Make the call with your best focus and energy, just like you're calling somebody. Write down your call summary and rate how successfully you did or did not do. Achieve your goal for the call. All right? Have them do all that. And call your friend back in 10 minutes. Give them time to think about it. Because they're sitting there thinking about it. They're sitting there saying, well, you know what? Oh, John sucks, man. He didn't do too good. Now he's going to give you really positive. If you call him back immediately, he's going to say, oh, yeah, that was cool. That was great. Okay? Ask him this. Did you like my call? What did you learn from my call? What next step do you expect after my call? Tell me what I did right. Be sure to say, of course, thank you. Okay? Always thank people for their help. It really helps. Yeah, that's a great idea. Woodrow says, post in the forum and see if you can team up with another reseller and you guys work back and forth together. Okay? Keep a call log. Very important. You will forget who you call. Date and contact, goal, objective, notes, and rating. All right? Answer the following questions if this call is to set an appointment, get a referral, offer help, resolve an objection, or to close the sale. Extremely important. Everybody on here wants to sell more apps. In order to sell more apps, you're going to have to diversify your business. If you're going out and you're selling a couple of apps a day or 2 or 3 apps a week, face-to-face cold calling, and that's all you're doing, you're going to have to diversify because you're not getting in front of people at the right time and you're not using your time wisely. Okay, there you go, Tom. You're not using your time wisely. Okay, there's times of day when to be in the field, and there's times of day to be on the phone, and there's times of day when you don't need to be doing absolutely nothing except planning your time. Businesses are extremely busy. You don't want to walk into a business when they're really busy. You want to walk in during their slow times. Usually for most businesses, it's right after lunch. Okay, right after lunch. And or about 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. If I was going to cold call, I'd cold call between 2 and probably 4. Okay? Why is that? Because the manager is usually sitting in their office doing the books for the day. It's slow. Business is slowed down. You got a better chance of speaking to them. All right? Know the script. Understand the script. Learn the script. Practice the script. I want to close tonight, and we've had a lot of people asking about these webinars and how to use them and what are they for. And I want to go over webinars one more time. I would be willing to bet that 99% of you join this company by either coming to a live webinar, watching one of our webinars or videos online. The majority of people here. Okay? I did. I became a part of this company because I watched a video. All right? I watched an online webinar of this company, and that's what got me in the business. Okay? Webinars fulfill the objective. It brings in more sales leads, develops stronger relationships, and achieves better customer retention. Okay? Today's marketing, webinars are huge. It's the #1 way right now today to reach out to customers and help them see what they need to see with their busy schedules and be able to get the information they need and prime the pump for you. It gives the audience value. Your content is timely and relevant, and your message and information is targeted to the desired audience. Okay? If you're out talking to businesses and you're inviting them to your webinars, they're going to come because that's interests them. They're going to come because you specifically targeted them. Okay? If you go out and you start passing out a bunch of cards to unemployed people in an unemployment line who hasn't had a job in a year, they're probably not too interested in your webinar. Okay? Because it's not timely and relevant to them. They're looking for a job. Now, you may hire them, as someone said a while ago, hire them as salespeople. Put them to work. Okay? And your information is specifically targeted to businesses and a desired audience. It helps you to reach your sales target benchmarks. Somebody said a while ago, can my salespeople sell 5 a day? I'm fixing to show you in just a moment. And if you guys will do this, and you just hit 5%, what it will do to your business is phenomenal. Okay? If you hit 15, 20, 25%, you can pay my trip down to the Bahamas to sit on the beach with you. Okay? So, it helps you to reach your sales target benchmark, getting you in front of more clients 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, because people have time to do it. It allows you to give a direct call to action. Okay? Sometimes it's hard, and you guys that go out and hit the streets every day and that are out selling every day, when a manager gets 15 phone calls and you're trying to talk to him and he's sitting there and he's trying to listen to you, and he's listening to the employees complain, and he's listening to the customers complain, his mind is really somewhere else. What happens in a webinar, he's able to focus, or she's able to focus. She's not tied up, or he's not tied up by all the stuff around him. It's night, and they're sitting at their home. They're probably sitting there in their underwear drinking a big cold glass of milk with some Oreo cookies. And they're relaxing, and they're able to listen. Okay? And they're able to do this when they have time to do it. That's what makes these webinars so important. You're allowing your customer, and I'm going to tell you, they're going to thank you for it. Thanks for allowing me to do that. Okay? This is the way you promote your webinars. Number one, and what we're doing, and for those of you that already have webinars, we're fixing to change it to a specific domain / for example, the domain / Carrie Miller. What that's going to allow you to do, okay, is to shorten this up. The URL we're using now is kind of lengthy. It allows you to shorten this up, and plus it is specifically branded to your company. Okay? Get you 500, 1,000, 2,000, 10,000, 100,000 business cards made up for this specific purpose. You can go to, I think it's Vistaprint.com, and get 500 business cards printed up for $10, and they ship them for free. Okay? Now, it's not that price every time. That's just the introductory price. I recommend that you just do them on plain white paper with simple information, your name, your title, and your business information. Keep it simple, plain white, all black text. That keeps them extremely inexpensive, because what you want to do with these business cards is you want to give them to every single person that you come across. Every single person that you see, you want to give them that business card. Hey, Mr. Smith, I know that you're extremely busy. I see you're busy. Your place is full. I'd like to invite you to watch this webinar. And it's going to take them, this website with your branded URL, will take them directly into the webinar to be able to allow him or her to watch it in their own time. Now, I'm going to bring up the pencil again. Guys, y'all are going to wish I'd never found this pencil. I just found this tonight. I didn't even know I could do this. And trust me, this is easy to do. 100 business cards a day. Tom, just think if you had 5 salesmen out there doing that, that's 500 business cards a day. Go do 100 business cards a day. Okay? Now let's say that you get 30%, which being in the webinar business and studying webinars as I do and understanding them exactly like I do, okay, because I know that 99% of you came in here via webinars, all right, and this is our numbers and this is the industry-wide numbers. About 30% of the people will go in and watch the webinar, okay, about 30%. So that's 30 people watch the webinar. I'm going to buy me one of those little pens. Guys, you think I'm writing good today? Wait till next week. 30 people watch your webinar. Now, this is 100 biz cards a day. All right? 30%, 30 people watch the webinar. And you close 10% of them. What is that? 15 sales a week? Just by passing out a business card. Just by passing. Tim, if you would, shoot that in the support area. He's not able to see what you guys are writing on here tonight. And I'll pass that along to him also. This is a great way to grow your business. A great way to grow your business. It will literally help explode your business. Okay? Social media. Another great way to post your webinar. I asked everybody last week, how many of you go in and post your branded website every day? And some of you said yes, and some of you didn't say anything, which leads me to believe that not everybody is going in and posting, taking a real quick minute to go in and put a message in on your social media site, your Facebook site, and all the other sites out there. You need to take time every day and go in and post about 10 different posts, okay, to different media sites, okay, and put your information out there. The more links you have out there, the more link connectivity you have back and forth for the SEO purposes and so forth. But people will start clicking on those links in Facebook. So you want to make sure that you place a link every single day, not only for your site, but for your webinars. For your webinars. Go in and send personalized messages, okay? They've got it set up, I think you can send 10 personalized messages once an hour or something. So go in and send 10 personalized messages every single day to 10 different people. Very simple. Very simple. Do this also. How many of you get email every day? How many of you send out email every day? Just give me a yes real quick. How many of you send out email every day? Yes, 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 yes. Okay? Everybody sends out email. Yes, 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 yes. Without question. Okay? Post these links on the bottom of your email. People will go in and look at that. Okay? Yeah, look for, Woodrow says, look for businesses on LinkedIn as well. You can target a specific industry with a webinar offer. And LinkedIn is a great place to do that. You know, you can go in and post and search for specific areas. Get involved with these social media sites posting your links. Works extremely, extremely well. What I'm going to do tonight, and I spoke to Woodrow and Sean and the guys about this, and these webinars take a lot of time. But I want to help everybody here grow their business. And I've been asked this and asked this and asked this. We put together a pay plan. All right. And a few people said, Kerry, is there any way we can waive the setup fee? And I said, no, absolutely not. You know, I'm giving it away as it is. Okay. Well, when my heartstrings are tugged at long enough, I usually cave in. All right. But I'm not going to cave in anymore because of the time and effort it takes to put these together. Not only that, we're hosting them and we're doing all that too. So what I'm going to do for the next 7 days, and I'm going to tell you, at the end of 7 days, it's going back like it was. You need to take advantage of it now. And I don't mean this in a bad way, but I know what's going to happen. I'm going to get flooded with these, and it's going to take an extreme amount of time. But I want to help everybody out here, and I want to help everybody out for one reason, because I want you to be successful. So what we're going to do for the next 7 days, and I've already had Sean change the link, okay? We're taking away the setup fee. My kids won't have Christmas this year. No, I'm kidding. We're taking away the setup fee. We're taking away the setup fee. And it's going to be $59 per month for the webinar. Now, if you go out and you sell one job off of this, one job, it's paid for plus profit all year long. One job. Guys, if you can't go out and pass out business cards to get people to come to that webinar and let the webinar get the juices flowing and you go in and just close the deal, write the contract, if you're not willing to go out and pass out the business cards and not willing to post the links, do not waste your time signing up for this. Because in another 30 days, you're going to come back and say it didn't work, and I'm going to tell you it didn't work because you didn't do anything. Because I know they work. The numbers in this industry don't lie. It doesn't lie. These numbers are statistically proven for the last 6 years that webinars have busted loose. So I'm going to waive the setup fee for 7 days. After 7 days from today, next Tuesday night at midnight, this is going away. It's going to go back to the $99 setup and $59 per month. You have to go to the instantAppWizard.com/pay plan, and it automatically gets on the recurring. All right? They can go in anytime. It's going to be set up to where they can go in and select the times they want, and or they can go in and watch it right there on the spot. But they will be actual webinars, okay? They will be recorded webinars. It'll be a recorded, branded webinar that has your company information and everything on it. Yes, sir. So, but instantAppWizard.com/pay plan for the 7 days, I'm going to waive the setup. Now, we still have the one-time annual. If you want to save you some money, you can get the $497 per year. You go to instantAppWizard.com/497. Let me pull up real quick if I can find. I'm going to show you real quick how we brand these. Give me 2 seconds here. Wait a minute. Well, hang on just a sec. I got to pull something up. 2 seconds if I could. Let me find Doug's real quick. I'm going to pull up his slides real quick, and so you can see these, how we do this. Okay. This is how the first slide comes up, and we brand them at the beginning of the webinar and at the end of the webinar. And for all of you that haven't seen how I do it, there's nothing in it about Instant App Wizard. I am your direct representative. I don't talk about Instant App Wizard. I don't talk about myself other than I introduce myself. and I do it just like that. I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome you to your mobile marketing webinar presented by, and this is Doug's company, Outrageous Media. And then I'd talk about the web address, driving them to the web address. Then I do the second slide on the beginning. And this is stuff I take off of your website. This is information that you guys have written, okay? You've written really your own content. And what I do, and then I come in and I match up the colors to go along with your logo. Everything is branded to you. Everything looks like you. Everything feels like you and touches like you. But I took this right off of his branded site. The mobile revolution is happening right now, and a mobile app created by Outrageous Media will plug your business into the mobile world so you are not left behind. Visit us today at outrageousmedia.com or give us a call at 717-495-5967. Or if you're sitting at your desk, why don't you send us an email at outrageousmedia. That's actually outrageousmedia@gmail.com, and we made that change. But and this is at the beginning of the webinar, and we do it again at the end of the webinar. If you'll go into the forum, Matthew, there is a link under the Carrie section of the forum. Go to Carrie's Corner. It's about, I think it's 17, 18 minutes. It's not real long. It goes into the program. It talks about the program. It talks about marketing. It talks about why they need it. It's not, because we don't want to sit there and drag them through an hour and a half. It's an informational webinar to open the door for you. Yeah, if they have to sit there for an hour after working all day, you're going to lose them. We give them enough information to bring them in. It's a great, and trust me, they work. We've tested the same type of webinar on our system, about a 10-minute webinar, and it worked phenomenal. Phenomenal. Okay, I'll take a few questions real quick. I don't even know what time it is, man. This has been a great, it's 9:15. I'm going to take a couple of questions and we're going to call it a night. I know it's late. Some of you have been sitting here a long time, and any questions at all, any questions about the webinars, any questions about the scripts, we're going to post the scripts on the forum. They'll be in Carrie's Corner. I'll send everybody out a link. Recruiting salespeople, best way. Put an ad in the newspaper. If I know most newspapers, Tom, our newspaper here, and we're just from a small town. If you put an ad in a newspaper, they also post it in monster.com, and you will get a ton of calls. A ton of calls. A script for salespeople, keep it short because newspapers are extremely expensive to. I would just put something in there like sales wanted. You know, salespeople wanted. And let them call you. That way you cannot sell and you cannot explain your business in a help wanted ad. It just don't happen. Craigslist, yes, the deal with Craigslist, and I think it was Woodrow and I were talking about this today. Make sure it's a paid sales position. They have a lot of terms that you cannot break. Matthew, email me at Carrie@InstantAppWizard.com and I will shoot you a link. How's that? When can my clients log into my personal business application and post a message to their Not sure what you're asking, Tim. Yeah, there is a link in the forum, Tom, where you can view it. Go to Carrie's Corner, and it says there, it's got a little blurb about the webinar. Tim, shoot that to the support and help desk. Any more questions? Thank you, buddy. Let me give you a couple of things about pay. Yes, sir. Spell Kerry, Kerry, Kerry at instantAppWizard.com. If you pay someone, they're an employee. Okay, there's a huge difference in commission, 1099 commission. That means they're an independent contractor. Okay, you want to hire your salespeople as independent contractors. If you bring them in as a sales rep for pay, weekly pay, if you pay them anything, they've now become an employee. And you really want to stay away from that. There are a lot of people that will work on commission. Yes, you just set them up. There's a couple of ways to do that. I tell you what, I'll go over that next week too, Philip. But yeah, you can have them go in and build the apps right underneath your reseller site. Thank you, Joseph. I appreciate that, buddy. The link to your webinar, Ken? I'll re-email it to you. Hey, thank you, Tom. Thank you, buddy. Okay, guys, it looks like the questions are pretty much wrapping up, and everybody's telling me thanks. So I greatly enjoyed tonight. We're going to kind of keep this same format going. I want to make sure that I help you guys get out there and sell and give you any knowledge. And anything that you have, once again, Bob Delancey tonight, man, helping out with the script. Anything that you have that you can throw my way, send it to Kerry at instantAppWizard.com. And I would love, thank you, Robert. Well, look forward to seeing you next week. Would love to be able to implement it and share it with everybody. We're one big happy family here, and I know that if we work together as a team, everybody will be extremely successful. Thank you, Raymond. All right, guys, God bless. Have a wonderful evening. I'm fixing to actually go sit down and have a little bit of dinner, and I love you, Steven, buddy. I'm going to post that script in the forum. We'll post the script in the forum. I will sit down in the morning. I'm running on about 3 hours sleep, so I'm going to sit down in the morning and I will get the training up and I'll get the scripts posted up. All right, everybody. Thank you very much. God bless, and I'll see you next Wednesday.